morning. My name is Marcellus Robinson. I'm president of Allegheny East Conference. And I would like to share with you a thought taken from the 71st division of Psalms, beginning with verse 16 through 19. It says, I will praise your mighty deeds, O sovereign Lord. I will tell others that you alone are just. O God, you have taught me from my earliest childhood, and I will constantly tell others about the wonderful things you do. Now that I am old and gray, do not abandon me, O God. Let me proclaim the fact that your power is new to each generation, your mighty miracles to all who come after me. Your righteousness, O God, reaches to the highest heavens. You have done wonderful things. Who can compare with you, O God? I would like to say first and foremost, the psalmist had it right. God is sovereign. God is good. God is righteous. Yet, if we would be honest with ourselves, many times life's journey takes us for a loop here and there that we seem to wonder, where are you, God? Have you abandoned me? Have you left me all alone? Imagine now, it's June. We're nearly half the year gone, and many of our New Year's resolutions have gone by the wayside. They've not come to pass. In fact, in our daily lives, things don't go the way we plan. In fact, things tend to go from bad to worse. We're like the man who had been stranded on an uncharted desert island, and his name wasn't Gilligan. You see, he had been sailing alone on the Pacific, and a storm hit him and threw him off course and almost killed him. And after a whole day on the island, and no rescue ship in sight, he decided to build a shelter from himself with what he had remained from his possessions. And then once he built the shelter, he would put the rest of his possessions in the shelter for protection. Well, after a couple of days, he wasn't rescued, and he became a little bitter. And he asked God the why question, God, why have you allowed this to happen to me? In fact, what's going on here? Are you going to allow me to starve to death? Give me a break, Lord. I mean, come on. Aren't I your child? Well, yes, you are God's child. And sometimes we got to learn to trust God, like the old folks used to say, where you can't trace him. Well, when he thought things were bad, well, it went from bad to worse one day. He went out hunting for some food and returning to his hut, it was going up in smoke. That's right, it was on fire. And before you know it, it was gone. And the man did what we tend to do when we're in distress, and I hope we do when we're not in distress. He fell on his knees and he prayed, and he said, God, how can I learn to trust you when things like this happen to me? I've lost all that I own. That's right. Everything you possess sometimes is gone up in smoke. And you were asking God, what's going on here? Well, as he soaked there a couple of hours, wouldn't you know it, unbeknown to him, a rescue ship arrived to pick him up. And his first question to them was, how did you find him? They said, surely you should know. We saw your smoke signal. Just like that, man. When you think things have gone from bad to worse and God has abandoned you, the opposite has happened. The psalmist had it right. God is sovereign. God works out things in ways we can't even imagine. And if we would trust him, we'd realize that God is in control. And so I want you to join me in doing what the psalmist declared, that we should proclaim God's goodness and his grace and his mighty miracles and that he do for us day to day to the next generation, so that they know that God is worthy of trust and honor, because he's a righteous God. He's a just God. He's a loving God. He's a good God, and he will take care of you. So my friends, be blessed today. And as you contemplate how life's journey is going for you, remember the sovereignty, the goodness of God. Have a blessed day.